Hello everyone, it's time for the September wrap up and I want to compare it with the list of the books that I actually plan to read this month, and I'm curious if it's gonna match or not. First book that was on my TBR list and the one that I read first this month, it's a Hallmarked Man by Robert Galbraith. It's the eighth book in a series about private investigator Cormoran on strike and his partner Robin Ellicott. There was a gruesome murder in the body was found in the vault of silver store that was selling like some Masonic silver, and the client wanted them to prove that the body was belonging to her missing boyfriend. It's really a nice book, but there's like 800 or 900 pages, and few times I got a bit lost in the whole plot, but it all was untwisted by the end, so it's 5 out of 5 stars for me. The next book that also was on my TBR, and it's Commonwealth by Anne Patchett. It's a family saga. It's just combining of two families, and they in common had like 5 children, and it's shaped in a way of mixing several stories that go throughout the time. It would be like in 1950s, then we're back in the 30 years later, then we get back in the middle of the timeline, so it's really interesting, and by the end of the story we'll know what happened with each person that we met at the beginning of the book. So for me it's 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that also was on my TBR, it's A Dance of Lies. It's a romantic fantasy about this the main character. She was a really nice dancer, the jewel of the king, and dance really nice, and I can really loved her, but he was framed of the murder and put into the prison for the 2 years, and then the king got her back, and to gain her freedom she must go as a spy for this annual celebration, and she must dance but also spy on other kings and do all of his tasks. The whole plot is interesting, but I really did not like the main female character, because she was really whiny, and I didn't feel any chemistry between main characters, so for me it was hard to get through all of this, and by the end of the book I felt quite disappointed, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that was also on my TBR is The Bone Season. It's the first book in a series, and before starting reading it I read all of the reviews that it's quite complicated, and I agree with that, because the world is really hard to understand, because we are in the future London, where there's a lot of paranormal people with ability, with like mental abilities, all of these like psychics, seers, tarot card readers, and all of them have this like categories and all possible names that it's hard to understand. Luckily, there is a glossary at the end of the book. So the main character, Paige, she's a dream walker. She could like leave her body. Her spirit could leave her body, and of course, in this world, there is people without ability and those who have those paranormal abilities. They are hunted, and she got captured and sent this like really weird prison, and she had to go through all of like assignments to get to be part of this new society in this Oxford city. And of course there's gonna be resistance, rebellion, and she's a part of that, and she's trying to escape it. And it was really interesting, and it was complicated too, but at the same time really engaging how to understand who is who and the meaning of all of these people with different abilities. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Next book that was not on my TBR, In the Veins of Drowning. The main character, Imogen, she's a siren, and she's hiding in this kingdom, and she's engaged and supposed to marry this other man, but she really doesn't want to. And when the king of rival kingdom visit the court, she persuade him to save her, and he get her on her ship, and she travel to his kingdom, and a lot of things going on. Of course, it's a romantic story, they fall in love, but I didn't really like a female character because she was really controversial for me, because she would say in the things that I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna save myself, I'm not gonna go to the way I lived before. But few pages later, when someone actually proposed and asked her to help to do what she was just promising to do to herself, she would go back on her words like right away, and that's why it just spoiled for me the whole experience, and I give it like 3 out of 5 stars. The next book is None of This Is True. It's a mystery and thriller, and the main character, she met this on her birthday, she met another woman who has her birthday at the same day, and then they met together again, and she decided to make the podcast about this woman, and the woman tells her story, and there's like more and more weird and scary stuff are discovered, and it gets like so mixed that honestly by the end of the book I didn't know what is true, what is not, so I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. The next is Verity. It's also a mystery book. We have the main character. She is a struggling author, and she was hired to finish the series of books written by this really famous author after her accident, and she is like not able to finish the book series. So when she got to spend some time in her house with her husband and child, to go through whole her notes and try to figure out what the next books should be, she uncovered her diary that she wrote as it's meant to be like autobiography, and when she goes through all of that, she discovers many cruel and scary things. The whole book is really short, really fast read, but also creeps me out a lot. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that was not on my TBR in 5 years. The main character, she's like really successful, engaged. In one day, she going back home from her engagement dinner with her fiance. She fall asleep, and she in her dream she moved in the future in 5 years from now, and she is completely new place with another man. And when she spent like an hour there in this dream, and then she goes back, but she could not shake it off, this dream. And then we see how the story progressed through these 5 years and how she get to this point that she saw in her dream. It's really interesting and also really fast read, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book that was not on my TBR, The Prison Healer. I actually read the whole series after I started this one, but I don't have them in physical copy. I get this from the public library. So the main character, she is young woman. She's in prison for her family being accused of being a rebel, and she is working as the healer. And then when they got the leader of the rebellion into the prison, she's really sick, but the queen, this rebel queen, she was put into this like trial for elemental trials, and the main character decided to take her place and took all these trials to save the rebel queen. Also, she met this main character, and of course they fall in love. It's a really romantic story, but also very entertaining. A lot of things going on there, and I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Also, there was the book that was on my books award on my TBR, but I haven't read them, such as Watch Me by Tara Maffei, Rule of Fools by Lee Bardugo, and Caught Up by Navessa Allen. Maybe I read them in the next months. I'll still think about it. Thank you for watching me today, and I'll see you soon. Bye!